The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's Donkey of the Day today?
Donkey of the Day for Friday, October 28th goes to police in Bullhead City. Bullhead City is a city in Arizona who we probably have never, ever mentioned on Breakfast Club before, but they are getting their first mention on Donkey of the Day like this. Apologies, Bullhead City. I wish we didn't have to meet like this, but your police are tripping. A lot of police around the country trip, but this trip right here isn't just a trip, it's a stumble and fall. See, some people on this planet just like to do good, no strings attached, not looking for anything in return. They just see people in need and they provide it. It's simple as that. Norma Thornton, 78 years old of Bullhead City, seems to be one of these people, okay? She is a widowed mother of 5 who grew up in poverty. She moved to Bullhead City in 2017. After she retired, she began making meals for those in need after learning many in her community suffered from food insecurity. So, Norma goes to Bullhead City Community Park, and she likes to go out there and serve food to the needy. In fact, she gave a quote where she said, "The thought of people being hungry, I mean, I'm not making a big impact," she is, "but at least some people have enough food to survive, and I can't even imagine living in this country and being hungry." Dropping the clues bombs for Norma Thornton. All right, 78 years old. A woman like that should be honored and helped, meaning that we already see her out there doing God's work. So let's provide her with more resources, more assistance, so she can feed more people. That's what it seems like should happen, right? Not in this America. Let's go to NBC News for the report, please.
Okay. Well, I'm going to call my higher-ups and figure out how we're going to handle this, okay?
This is police body camera footage from earlier this year, given to us by Norma Thornton's attorneys.
Very, very, very scary. I thought I was going to go to spend some time in jail.
It shows her getting put in a police car after they say she was feeding the homeless at a public park. Thornton was accused of breaking a Bullhead City law. The ordinance makes it illegal to take part in a food-sharing event in a public park without a permit. The city says this ordinance is to ensure public health and safety and to prevent trash from piling up because of food-sharing events.
Is it Bull City or Bullhead City? I repeat, is it Bull City or Bullhead City? I mean, Lord have mercy. Satan is really waging war against God, isn't he? Norma Thornton got arrested for feeding the homeless hot meals. This city, Bull City, has a new ordinance that makes it a criminal misdemeanor to share prepared food in a public park for charitable purposes without a permit. However, people are allowed to freely share food in the park for social events. So you can have a cookout or a party in the park and host up to 100 people with no consequences at all, but you can't do the same thing to feed the homeless. This is what I don't understand. Not just about Bullhead City, but in life. Look, you don't have to help me, but you don't have to hurt me either. If you don't want to help me, just get out my way. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. But if you see me helping folks, don't do things to hurt me and keep me from helping those who need it. I told y'all earlier that Norma said she can't even imagine living in this country and being hungry and being told that you cannot feed the hungry regardless of what the circumstances are. My God. Norma is absolutely right. And the city and the police department are wrong. And I am glad that Norma is filing a lawsuit against Bullhead City, dropping the clues bombs for Norma's lawsuit. Okay? She is alleging that her constitutional right to do charitable acts was violated and requested that a court strike down the city's BS ordinance prohibiting her from feeding the homeless. I don't know if it's a violation of her constitutional rights. All I know is something ain't right. And her lawsuit notes that while there are 3 food pantries in the city, they have limited hours and food options, and many are located where people cannot walk or drive. None of the pantries serve hot meals and only offer 1 box of prepackaged food per family each month. So basically what she's saying is, Bullhead City, y'all doing a little something, but not enough. Okay, nowhere near enough. So let me do my thing without having to get a permit, all right? The permit required to share prepared food at parks requires a 5-day notice and $250 refundable deposit for cleaning. It also only allows sharing in a single 2-hour window, just 1 day per month. Why would Bullhead City be worried about something like trash in the park? Don't they have someone to clean the parks? If not, make that a city ordinance. Like, hey, if you're going to feed the homeless, just make sure you clean up the park or at least pick up after yourself, or encourage the homeless people to make sure to throw the trash away, keep the park clean. If not, they cannot receive the hot meals. Simple as that. Help me help you. get free meals, okay? Just keep the park clean. That's a fair exchange. But what kind of world do we live in where a city is going to charge a human for doing a good deed? Norma Thornton already spending her own money on the food and putting her own sweat equity into making the food, and you want to charge her for a permit because she decided to spend her time and energy making hot meals for those in need? This whole system is a wrap. Jesus ain't coming back. We really live in a time where folks demonize good and celebrate dysfunction. Now, Bullhead City released a statement claiming that individuals are free to serve food to any homeless person at their place of residence, church, or private property. Our ordinance applies to public parks only. That's what the mayor, Tom Brady, said in a statement. He thought he ate with that, okay? Norma said that's not ideal because she still serves people, but now she has to do it in a private alley. She said it's not ideal because there's no tables, no grass. People get their food and they just sit up against a fence and eat. When she was serving in the park, word would get out that she was serving hot food, and it was much easier to get it to the people. And it was much easier for people to get to her and to the food. Let me tell y'all something, man. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of others. All right? No one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of another. All right? But you are very useless if you get in the way of a person who is trying to lighten the burden of another. All right? Bullhead City, right now, you are very useless, and you are a burden to Norma Thornton and a burden to all those starving, homeless individuals. Please give the city of Bullhead and the police department in Bullhead City the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. Ooh, you are the donkey of the day. Yee-haw.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say